It's finally starting to feel like the 2022 Disney Cars mainline is ramping up. It's starting for real. There are cases hitting all over the world. Literally everywhere has finally had some exposure to the 2022 line. Mexico, the United States, Canada, Europe, Australia. And it's really awesome to see everything kind of converge and everyone being able to enjoy the new cars at once. However, everywhere in the world is getting something slightly different, and some places are getting more than others, and hopefully everywhere has a chance to eventually get everything. But, for example, the United States is getting cases A through C at Target, and Walmart, of course, is getting those minimized 12 count cases for A and C. Canada, I think, is getting some B in, maybe a little bit of A as well. Europe, I think, is everything up to D. I think France is the only place that has had D yet. And then Australia, I think, is basically A through C. So, yeah, a lot of stuff is out there right now. And for you guys, I wish you the best of luck in finding what you want. There are technically no new diecast in any of the first 4 cases, but I am sure that we will see some of the new stuff hit cases E and onward. And so in these videos here, you'll see over the next couple days, I will be reviewing cases A, B, and C of singles, because Give Me Collectibles, my main supplier who I get like the cases from and I unbox them for you guys, he hasn't gotten them in yet, and I don't want to waste any more time. I have accumulated all of the cars that I need to do these reviews for, and it would also save me a lot of money doing it this way because there are a lot of carryovers in these first 3 cases here. So if I were to buy all 3 of them to unbox, I would waste a lot of money and end up with a ton of extra cars that I just don't need. So instead, I decided to just, grab at least one of all the cars in the first 3 cases. And so we have them here today. There are 17 unique diecasts in case A, and I will leave the entire list of contents in the description below so you can check that out. And this case, for my American viewers, is hitting Target stores, and then a 12 count version is hitting Walmart stores with, obviously less content, not as much variety, but we're gonna jump right in here. I'm teasing you guys with the highlights from the case, but in my opinion, as we always do here on the Disney Docket channel, we start with the lowlights. And I don't really want to hate on this case. Like, it's a pretty decent first case, all things considered, but I have my opinion as to which are better and which are not so worthy of being included first or included last. We save the best for last, basically. But anyways, we're going to start here with Sheriff. So a pretty standard release. He's been released a lot and a lot from Thailand. And I do like this Thailand release a lot because he has that chrome grille and bumper there, which looks really cool. I like how his art looks there. I'm glad that they put the Radiator Springs background. Now, I'm calling the 2022 mainline Red Riders. Take it or leave it if you like it. Cool if you don't. Whatever, come up with a better name. But Red Riders is what I'm calling it because they're using this like abstract red background. All right. On the back here, as seen in Cars. I like how they were pretty safe. Like, they could have screwed up and put like as seen in Cars 2, as seen in Cars 3, and they would have been technically right. But you have Matthew, True Blue McCrew there, Ralph Carlow, Hall Inngas, Darla Vanderson, Holiday Hotshot, McQueen, Marlin Clutches, McKay, and Mater. Now, Marlin is the only one on this card back that is not in case A. He is in case B and C. So we'll get to him in a future video. But I did, of course, already do that 12 count case C review for the Walmart exclusive case. And I'll leave the link for that in the description below, and card suggestion pop up in the top right hand corner there. So yeah, that's kind of like a minimized version. It really is of case C that we will do a video on in a couple days here. Next up is another police officer, quote unquote, kind of knockoff maybe, APB, one of the Demolition Derby racers from the Thunder Hollow. Again, we've seen a lot of her over the last couple years as well, and therefore she's not super exciting. But you have the little metal logo there in the white space that they're still including, but not as prominently as before. And obviously with these new packages, if it's not obvious, there's just like a tire track name tag up here. So it's not a physical clip name tag thing in the blister. And obviously they can't do that because they are using these new streamline blisters that just kind of, I don't know, they are molded to the car, the specific car. And it's kind of weird because I feel like they are using some blisters for multiple characters, or they have designed blisters to be used for multiple characters. Like APB has like this little additional jut out here, like this extra piece that's not being filled by anything. So I don't know if maybe they foresee there being another car that they could slide in here that would need like this extra space. And there's actually one in here I'm confident they did that for, and we'll get to that in a couple moments here. But yeah, it's nice to see APB, and the back of her shows Cruz Ramirez in her Rust-eze paint job, Rust-eze Racing Center McQueen, Kurt with bug teeth, APB herself, and Liability, all of which are indeed in case A. So we'll get to them in a couple moments. But yeah, those streamlined blisters really make everything kind of difficult to store because, you know, they're different sizes. Like here you can see Luigi and Guido, the blisters are so much thinner. It's almost twice the width. And so I don't know how I'm going to store these. I honestly do not know how I'm going to do it. I might have to just like put them as a top layer on everything. Like I might have, like I use underbed storage containers, and so like I will put, like I think I have like 3 underbed storage containers dedicated to my 2021 singles. But I might have to redesign them so that I can usually fit like 3 rows, 2 columns. Like just imagine like 2 rows like this, but and then like 3 layers of it. I might have to do that top layer as these. You know, I think that's probably going to be what I have to do. I think it's a pretty good idea, honestly. Anyways, here you have the Rust-eze Racing Center Lightning McQueen. Now, he is only in case A, so if you want him, you should pick him up because you will not see him in a future case. But yeah, he's got the nice artwork there, and it's nice to see him back. He's a pretty popular version of McQueen, metallic and gold. Entices a lot of people to think that he's a chase, actually. It's funny, people see, like especially like Hot Wheels collectors who aren't very attuned to the line, they see something metallic and they think it's a chase. I guess it's just like that super treasure hunt blood in them. But nope, not a chase. Typical release. Now here you have Luigi and Guido. This one's pretty sought after because I acquired a lot of these on eBay. Like I was not able to find all of these in store. And this one was the most expensive, believe it or not. But yeah, it's a nice little presentation there. They look good. The card back, unfortunately, this choking hazard just absolutely obscures Willie's butte. But yeah, it's nice to see them back, of course. And here you have a card back that's similar to the Sheriff's, but the advertising, or the warning, I guess, advertencia, takes up the place of Marlin Clutches McKay, and I think Matthew True Blue McCrew was also on the back of Sheriff. Alrighty. Dang, these are so hard to store. Like, I literally can't even stack them on my table. Here we have another Cars 1 Radiator Springs Townie Mater. This is one of my favorites in terms of aesthetic. I think he looks really, really good on this Red Riders card back. A big fan. And he's super heavy because the metal extends all the way to the back now, whereas when China used to release him, well, they started off by making him entirely metal, but I think in like 2010 or so, they switched and they started making the back portion of him plastic. I think it was actually with Cars 2. When Cars 2 came out, they started making this back portion plastic. So it's nice. You get a really good chunk of metal here. And there you go, same card back as before, just now with Fillmore. And speaking of Fillmore, we are going to move onwards and upwards with Fillmore himself. So another one of my favorites here because I think he just looks so pure on this card back. I love seeing the Townies being re-released every year, so you can kind of have like that then and now where you show like the 2006 Desert single of Fillmore made or whatever, and then you show like the brand new version and just see the evolution of 16 years. So it's really cool. Unfortunately, I don't think there is like one character that you can take and put on every single package for every year. And the culprit for that is Cars 2, like the Portacorsa line, because they didn't release anything from other movies during that time. And I guess the same can be said for Cars 3. Yeah, 2017 and 2011-12, they dedicated to like Cars 2 and 3. And so that is what breaks up the streak of releasing some of the Townies. But yeah, anyways, here you have Fillmore. Don't worry, guys. I'll let you know when we get to like a new Thailand variant or something. But yeah, we have not gotten there yet. These have all been released before. Now, I do want to mention with Fillmore's blister here is that it's actually designed to fit the pit crew member Fillmore. If you can see here, this part of the blister is shaped 100% like the jugs that he, wraps his head around, like the bandana, that Fillmore uses at the Los Angeles International Speedway. It holds those fuel jugs in place, and this shape right here is identical to that. So I could definitely see them releasing pit crew member Fillmore in the future, and he's got that extra little leeway on both sides there where, this jug would fit on this side and the other one would fit on the other side up against the card back. So very interesting there, something to think about, maybe foreshadows that release. Here we have Ron Hover, kind of an interesting choice for a release because he's a rather obscure character, like not super common, and he was just released last year, right? So I don't know why they decided to release him again, but I'll take it, I guess. He's only in Case A for the year, so again, if you missed him in 2021 and you want him, he's only in this case, so be sure to pick him up. But again, I like the background. He looks really solid on this as well. Super thin blister though, so again, this one's going to be really hard to stack. Like, look at that. It's not even. Dang, they're saving so much money with these blisters though, because, instead you had like the whole box-like blister, and then you'd have like the inner piece to hold it in place. Now you pretty much just have like the inner piece. And there you go with the same stuff on the card back. All right, moving on to Rusty's Cruz Ramirez here. So jumping up to the Cars 3 stuff a little bit. Now she was released last year in that 2-pack with Clutch Aid Racing Tractor. So I honestly would have preferred to see like another version of Cruz, maybe the Dynaco version, maybe the regular version, because over the last couple years we've gotten a lot of Rusty's Cruz and Trainer Cruz. But she looks good on this card back too. I like how they put the accent mark over the eye there because that is technically accurate. Whoa. But a lot of people do not put the accent mark there in her name. And there you have the card back with some of the Cars 3 stuff again, all of which are in Case A here. Now I do kind of want to talk about a few interesting things. My experience finding these 2022 singles. So of course, you guys know from Hunt episode 19, I found that entire Case C, the 12 count version at Walmart. And that was great. I found an entire case and I was able to get everything I needed. But Case A has definitely been a little bit harder for me to find. Case A and B for that matter. I've only seen remnants of both of those cases, never a full case. And so that's why I had to order a bunch of stuff on eBay to make these videos possible here, as you'll see over the next couple days when I do Case B and Case C. But anyway, here's Liability. I did find this one in a store though, and I can understand why, because she was released, I think it's a she, yeah, was released in 2020. I don't think she was released last year though, but yeah, it's a nice release though. I'm not upset about this one. Kind of reminds me of Mardi Gras, which just ended, because she has green and purple, which are Mardi Gras colors. And there she also is on the card back there. But yeah, I found this one in a store, but most of these you're seeing I did not. So like Ron Hover, nope. Who else did I not find? I guess I found most of these ones here that I'm showing you. Miguel Camino was from Case C. He's a carryover, so had him. World Grand Prix racer from Cars 2, the Spanish one. Pretty nice. They really were they were pretty smart with how they designed the card backs for this year. They just did radiator springs and a fan stand. So this could be interpreted as, it could be World Grand Prix fan stand, it could be Piston Cup, it could be Thomasville, really could be anything. So they were pretty wise in doing that because it's very flexible for almost all the characters. On the background here, you could just see Shu Todoroki with Miguel there, and that just goes to show you that they have not done much Cars 2 stuff at the start of the 2022 mainline here, but they actually are going to do more than usual. I feel like, they're doing Miles Axelrod, they're doing some of the other stuff from Cars 2, and so it's actually kind of nice to get away from Cars 3 for a little bit because that has been the main focus over the last few years. But here you have Shu Todoroki. I found this one in the store as well. Love his artwork. He looks great because he really takes up a lot of space here, and the red accents just complement the Red Riders packaging. And there you go, same card back. They've been using these stock images since 2011. All right, who else we got here? I guess we can move on to one of the more exciting ones. So this is a new made-in-Thailand variant of Darla Vanderson. Now, obviously, she was one of the highlights in that 12-count KC that Walmart's getting, so I already kind of talked about her, but again, Cars 1 fan in the stands for Mr. the King. But she does not seem very different from the Chinese release, and so I don't think I will be reviewing her. There are some Thailand releases that I do intend to review because they're different from their Chinese counterparts, and Ralph Carlow is one of those. But yeah, I don't think Matthew True Blue McCrew is really that different either, and I will show you him. I think he's one of the more exciting ones from this case because he's not in KC, well, at least not the 12-count version, so I was very happy to find him in the store the other day. And I have actually the Chinese version of him. He's a lighter blue, and the eyes also have like that little eyeliner, a little grainier. So consider this the review. Still no license plate for the poor guy. Oh well. This guy's been released actually a lot, even though he's a more obscure character, right? He's just a background character, but after being released in 2010, I think he got released in 2014, 2016. Well, maybe not as much as I thought then. Timothy Two-Stroke, who's in the next case, case B, he's been released a ton. And I kind of get them mixed up because they're both like, background fans from the first movie. I always distinguish Darla because Darla was not released in 2010. She was first released in 2016, then 2017, and then now. Whereas Matthew and Timothy made their debut in 2010, so they are a little bit more iconic to me, a little bit more traditional. All right, here you have Holiday Hotshot Lightning McQueen. Again, this guy's not a chase. Just because he's metallic, he's not a chase, my friends. My Hot Wheels friends out there, I've seen so many people asking on Facebook, is this guy a chase? Even though he was just released last year as well. No, my friends, he's not. But yeah, really cool. They obviously intended this case to be released a little bit sooner to correlate with the holiday season, but with all the delays and stuff, with the ports of Los Angeles and whatnot, a little late, right? Kind of out of the Christmas spirit, but he's still selling like hotcakes, like for whatever reason. I don't know. I guess I shouldn't say for whatever reason, but he's a pretty popular release, and I have yet to find one of him in a store, so I did have to order this one online. He is a slight variant from the Thailand release they did last year. The white walls are actually a little bit thicker. So you can see there they extend a little bit more out, although someone took a little bite out of mine there. As I actually mentioned this in my Giga haul because like I said, bought this off eBay, so it ends up included in my Giga haul part 3, which you guys will see in a week or so. I think there's 3 of him in the case, but yeah, he's selling like crazy. I can't believe I never found one though. All right, next up is Kurt with bug teeth. So he was released in 2020, and so this is his second release ever. Now, some of the variations they're doing, like this, they would not put like with bug teeth. They just are putting the name. Like, so Miles Axelrod with microphone, they're just putting Miles Axelrod. And then the Lightning McQueen in that 2-pack with Mater, they just say Lightning McQueen, even though it's technically Road Repair Lightning McQueen. So for some reason, some of the variants, they aren't doing justice on these name tags. So honestly, kind of surprised that they put Kurt with bug teeth here, because they could have totally just literally put one word, Kurt, and they would not have had to translate it in all these languages here. It would have saved them, a couple of fractions of a penny per car. But yeah, it's kind of nice to see him back, I guess. One of the funny flashbacks cars from 2020. And last but not least, we'll save him for last, and we'll jump over to Inngas here. You guys know Retread is one of my favorite sponsors, so I'm happy to see him. Although he has been released quite a bit over the last couple of years. 2020, Blue Desert. Yeah, he was released early on in the Blue Desert line, kind of overlapping in 2019. And then he got a metallic release later on in 2020. So yeah, we've seen a lot of him, but you know, he looks pretty good back. There's his card back. So yeah, he's not a new Thailand variant, but Ralph Carlow here is. This is the first time Mr. Ralph Carlow, the Cars 1 version, because there is a Cars 3 version. That version has not been released actually in a long time, but either way, this one is a new Thailand variant, and I do intend to review him, so keep your eye out on the channel for that. He's very different from the Chinese version, so I want to talk about that. But yeah, he looks really good on this card back. I think he was last released in early 2017 before the Cars 3 line began. And there you go. There's the card back we've seen a dozen times today. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I wish I could unbox this stuff for you, but again, I hope you understand that, one, it saves me a ton of money doing this way, and two, I wouldn't have even been able to do this video yet because Give Me Collectibles, or really any supplier whatsoever, they have not received their cases yet. Mattel is just kind of dragging their feet about it. So hopefully, though, maybe when we get to like cases D, E, and F and all that, I will start unboxing them. But yeah, guys, I will see you soon for another video. Bye now.